All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about a side of yoga that you probably won't see in your average studio class. The stuff that happens way before the first downward dog. We're talking about Shatkarma, the 6 foundational cleansing actions of Hatha yoga. So it all kind of starts with this really relatable problem. In one of our source texts, a student named Neha says this to our teacher, and you can feel it, right? She feels like her own body, with all its issues, is a roadblock to even starting yoga. But her teacher's response is fascinating. He basically suggests that you don't just push through these things. You start somewhere else entirely. And that leads us to this big question. What if the path to getting fit, physically, mentally, all of it, doesn't begin with stretching, but with, well, cleansing, a deep clean? This is the whole idea behind Shatkarma. Okay, so what is this stuff exactly? To really get what these practices are, we first have to understand why they exist in the first place, the why behind the how. And it all comes down to this number, 6. The entire system of Shatkarma is built around 6 very specific actions. Each one is designed to purify a different part of the body, getting it ready for all the deeper yoga practices to come. The name itself tells you the whole story. Shat is just Sanskrit for 6, and karma means action or procedure. So put them together and Shatkarma literally just means the 6 actions. Simple as that. And their one main goal, purification. But why purify? Well, according to Hatha Yoga and Ayurveda, this whole cleansing process is meant to balance 3 fundamental energies in the body. They're known as the doshas. And the thinking is, when these elements get out of balance, that's when disease starts to creep in. And at its core, this concept is pretty straightforward. You've got the 3 doshas, vata, which is linked to air, pitta, which is linked to fire, and kapha, linked to earth. Shatkarma is all about getting these 3 elements to work in harmony inside your body. Now, before we go one step further, I have to stop and say this is absolutely critical. Our source material makes this point crystal clear. These are powerful, specific techniques, and they should only be practiced under the guidance of an expert. So just to be clear, this is to help you understand the concepts. This is not a how-to guide. Please, be safe. Okay, with that important note out of the way, let's jump into the first pair of actions. These 2 are focused entirely on the digestive tract, which, if you remember, is a key area for issues like the acidity Neha was talking about. They're called Dothi and Basti. A really great way to think about these 2 is as a complete top-to-bottom cleanse. Dothi, which means washing, handles the upper section, everything from the mouth down to the stomach. Then you have Basti, which is the yogic enema, and that takes care of the lower section, the intestines and colon. So let's look at one type of Dauti, which is called Vaman Dauti, or Kunjan. The process is pretty specific. You sit in a particular pose and drink a lot of lukewarm salt water, and I mean a lot, until you feel totally full. Then you stand, bend forward, and use your fingers to trigger the gag reflex to bring all that water back out, washing the stomach clean. And the benefits are said to directly target problems like Neha's acidity. But listen, the prep is just as important as the practice itself. It has to be done first thing in the morning on a totally empty stomach. And afterward, you're supposed to eat a very specific, gentle meal called khichdi with ghee to soothe the whole system. Okay, now for the lower tract, Basti. The source text is pretty direct here. It's a yogic enema. Now, while you might hear stories of ancient yogis doing this in rivers, the modern practice is a lot more refined. It uses a proper enema apparatus to clean out the colon, and it's said to be really beneficial for constipation and clearing out the lower digestive system. So, from the digestive system, we're going to move up to the head. This next pair of actions, Nidhi and Tritaka, they focus on the nasal passages and the power of your gaze, which is directly relevant to that other problem Neha mentioned, her sinusitis. What's so interesting here is the difference between these 2. Neti is a very physical cleansing of a physical channel, your nose. Tritaka, on the other hand, is all about purifying and strengthening a sensory one, your sight, as a way to activate and focus the mind. You've probably seen this one around. The most common form is Jal Neti, and it uses that little teapot-looking thing called a neti pot. You just fill it with lukewarm salt water, tilt your head to the side, and pour the water into one nostril. It flows through your sinuses and comes out the other side, clearing out mucus and blockages along the way. A very direct approach to sinus relief. And then you got Tritaka. I mean, this quote from the source says it all, perfectly. It's the practice of just staring. You look intently, without blinking, at a single small point, like a candle flame, until your eyes naturally start to water. So why would you do that? Well, it's a two-for-one deal. Physically, it's like a workout for your eye muscles. But mentally, it's an incredibly powerful tool for developing laser-like concentration and just quieting down all that chatter in your head. All right, on to our final pair. And these are maybe the most dynamic of all 6 actions. We're talking about Nelli and Kapalbhati, which are all about abdominal control and the power of your breath. Here again, we see this really cool contrast between a super advanced physical manipulation and a powerful breathing exercise. Nali is basically an internal massage you perform with your own abs, while Kapalbhati is this rapid, purifying breathing technique. Nayali is often called abdominal churning. It's this exercise where you learn to isolate and then rotate your abdominal muscles. This action is said to literally massage all your internal organs, which helps strengthen the entire digestive system and can get rid of that heavy, sluggish feeling. And then we have Kapalbhati, which has this awesome name that means shining skull. The key to its power is the unique rhythm. The entire focus is on a forceful, sharp, rapid exhalation. The inhalation just happens naturally and passively as a result. It's a really potent cleansing breath. So after looking at all 6 of these actions, Dati, Basti, Miti, Tratika, Noli, and Kapalabhati, what's the big takeaway here? Where does all this purification actually lead? At the end of the day, Shatkarma is like a deep spring cleaning for your body. It's not the end goal of yoga. It's the essential preparation. By taking care of these physical barriers first, the acidity, the sinusitis, the sluggishness, you're preparing your body's energy channels to get the absolute maximum benefit from all the other practices, like the poses, the breath work, and meditation. And that just leaves us with this one fascinating thought. If these 6 incredibly powerful cleansing actions are just the prep work, just the warm-up, can you imagine what's supposed to come next?